stop telling comedians that we're sad, because we aren't more sad than anyone else. I just believe that we communicate it more. I can totally hear your gum right now.
Damn, man.
You're all right. Welcome back to another episode of Big Couch, Low Couch. My name is Seth Balance, your host as always, and my guest today, he is an author, writer, comedian, sex icon, but most of all, a stand-up comic who just started recently. But it's been nice to know. It's been nice to know you, man. You're gonna commit. You gotta commit to the final bit. No, but. Again, people need to stop telling comics that we're sadder than other people. But how do you feel about that? Do you think that comedians are cursed and blessed, cursed people with a terrible upbringing? Or can you just be a funny person with a good upbringing and be funny?
I've seen it both ways. But yeah, for the most part, I feel like it's a defense mechanism, right? Like, you get picked on or something, you get made fun of, and your only way in is to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And I've always been like quiet.
No way.
And shy.
Your opening joke is very good. Make sure to Tom Patterson, everybody. I don't even know. I double up on the name Tom Patterson because you're very fucking funny, man, and you're one of those comics who is so the dichotomy of who I am on stage. I'm up there like ooh just fucking being crazy and like, who's eating ass in here? I'm more hacky for sure. I lean towards the hacky side. I've
always liked your shit.
You lean towards the more alty side of, hey, quiet down, listen to the setup, and hear the punchline type thing. And
jokes.
I believe in my material way too much, and you believe in it too little. But But how have you liked it so far, starting stand-up? And is there anyone that you want to call out publicly on this podcast? No, I'm just kidding. That was season 1, okay? That's audio only, and I've taken down a lot of those episodes. But how have people, the experience of a new comic, have people welcomed you with open arms? Clicky? Has it been hard?
It's clicky for sure, and definitely a lot of welcoming people. You from day one have always been welcoming.
Well, it's just because you're a bald, straight white man.
Yeah, probably.
No,
I fit right in.
I do try to go out of my way if I see a new comic a couple times at Mike's and they're sitting alone. I want to be like, hey, man, my name's Seth. You can come sit with us. It's nice to meet you. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, you're gay. But you gotta.
What were you gonna say?
You're gay. But you gotta just. I try to put myself out there because I am a bit of a social butterfly. So I know other comics are more introverted than I am. So I want to go out of my way. Like Aldo, a very talented young comic, was sitting alone over at Tavern. I was like, who the fuck is this? And I walk over and second time ever seeing him there. I introduced myself. I'm like, hey, come over and sit with us. And now he doesn't even come out to Mike's because he's better than us. Because he's a better comic. And he's more talented and handsome than I will ever be. And Aldo, fuck you.
Yeah, he's
no,
working. He's working.
He's a very talented and funny kid. And again, a good practitioner of the job that is comedy. So far, have you made any money from stand-up? $5 here or there?
Three times now. Yep.
Hell yeah! What? Tell me this.
$20.
$20 the first time or all three?
Well, first time was just in drinks, and that was at what's his name?
Gimmick.
Guy Hanna.
Easy
Hey-o. Tiger. Yep.
I've never done that show. That
was
really
a
cool.
Dope show. Yeah,
so that was the first time you got paid in drink tickets, and that's a lot of it. Starting stand up.
Hell yeah. Yep.
So that is very. I will commend you for starting stand up as. And you said you're 34.
Yep.
34. Yep. I started
late
when I was
to the game.
Hey man, no, like fucking Mo. God, I forget her last name.
Started earlier.
Mo, she started later. There's literally people who retire then start stand up, and to be honest,
that's pretty wild.
They are very professional with it, and they're usually the clean comics who work corporate shows, and they make good money at fucking 75 when they started at 73. So it is a big testament to what do you want from comedy. And may I ask you, what do you want from comedy in the, let's say, within 5 years? Not talking about success or fame. Do you want money? Do you want to be a better comic? Like, what is the real, true drive? Because I know you don't want to be famous. You don't seem like the type. No. Whoa, the way you said that. I need to clip that.
I don't like attention. Comedy is kind of like insane. A backdoor, you know? Well, you could be famous in comedy and not be recognized by a lot of people, right?
That's a very good point.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few examples.
I was like blackout drunk, and my mom is a theater teacher who's one of her students, Warren B. Hall. He does cruise ships. He does corporate events. He's a working comedian. He used to open for Brian Regan. And at his 50th birthday, I was out in Vegas at Warren's birthday. And Brian Regan showed up to his opener's 50th birthday. And I was already drunk. And I was like, is that? No way. But I was so drunk.
He's literally the fucking man.
I'm just going to go up and be like, hey, I know your stuff. I'm not going to be like, I'm a comedian. Yeah. No.
What do you recommend I do?
If you ever meet a famous person or someone you look up to, walk up and say, big fan of what you do. Nice to meet you. And if they continue the conversation, go ahead. But you do not.
You walk away soon after that. Be a cool
person. But
unless they talk to you is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So Brian Regan.
You don't want to take up their time and all that shit.
What do you want with the fame? And you, as you said, it's kind of like a social outlet, would you say? Because you're an introverted person, but this is your way to present your extrovertedness through stand-up, would you say?
Way to get out thoughts and jokes. I've written jokes for a long time. What you're saying, I want in 5 years, I want to be a touring comedian.
Oh, yeah. Whether that's opening, emceeing, featuring,
any of them. Yeah.
You just want to be able to
headliner. I don't see that.
Well,
maybe.
Let me tell you, you aren't Matt Rife. Like Matt Rife, for instance, he's a very funny comic. Ralph Barbosa, very funny comic, in their 20s.
Ralph Barbosa.
You know what's fucked up is that they started when they're 16, 15 years old. And they've been at it for 12 years. So
can I spit this gum out?
Oh, yes. Right here in the red bin. Just pull it out. It's going to be a squeeze. Yeah. You good? Oh, wow. He did it off camera. What a gent. No, it'd be sick if you just, like, blew a bubble.
Yeah, exactly. Drool comes out.
That is, yes, touring with a comic. And you do seem like a type of person that you've done enough jobs or had enough careers or just met one maybe that you know how to actually be a professional and a practitioner.
Sure.
To where I don't know, like you don't seem like you're going to lose yourself in women or drugs if a headliner takes you to a new city. You don't
time has already come.
Exactly.
It's gone.
That's really
with
good.
With the hair.
Well, I mean, mine left, and I'm like, well, let's just go full throttle.
There's only a low percentage now that likes me or us, our type.
True, and But back to my point of you seem. I do want to address something that you brought up, and I'm hitting it down to my head with my ADHD ass. But going back to the point of you seem like you can actually be a professional and a practitioner of. I mean, yeah, you can call it art, but really the craft and like what we do and what you want to do for money, you seem like you can actually do it and show up on time and not disappear and go on a 2-week bender in Denver or something.
Yeah, no.
Right, and that is a big part of it where a lot of funny people are dysfunctional and hard to work with.
Sure.
And when people mean that, it could be because you said some problematic things on a podcast. But to be honest, I've done a lot of that, and I'm still booked on woke shows.
Yeah.
Right, and a lot of people have said, like Nick Ryback was commending me for it one time when we were all fucked up.
Well, you haven't bailed out on shows. You've always delivered.
Dude, if you book me on a show in California and will pay me $20, and let me know a month ahead of time, I'm covering a shift. And I'm driving 12 hours in that fucking day to do 10 minutes on your stage.
He said $20.
You know, that's gas money. Because you know, when I'm spending like $200 in gas.
Seriously, though, I feel you there. Because you got to
ask yourself, do you like this? You know, and a lot of people, I don't think they do.
It's probably back to life, man.
Have you ever never call out of a show? If you call out of a show, especially I hate to say this, a white man comic, you know how many funny white man comics there are? Fucking all of them. So you're so replaceable. Everyone, I'm so replaceable.
There's a lot of us bald dudes, too.
Dude, too many.
Yeah.
When I showed up, there was like Matt Delgado, who started right before me, and he was like 19 when I started. He's a young kid. And then Scott Waite, who was...
he's only 21 now, right?
Yeah, I'm like 2.5 in. But he started young. Also, he leapfrogged a lot of motherfuckers within the past half of a year. His writing has, like, fucking jumped.
You're talking Matt Delgado?
Matt still? Delgado, yeah. I had a joke about...
Well, he's writing at all the open mics.
Yeah, no, he's doing the work. Or Aldo, doing the actual job. Instead of just...
I write too. It's just in my phone, yo.
Hey, bro. Cody Neary.
You may think I'm on Instagram, but I'm writing deep shit. But half the time, that's...
Yes, enough of local references, but in a grander scheme of things, I know I'm replaceable, and it's not personal. It's not because the world's against me, and it's not because bookers hate you that they don't book you. They don't book you because they kind of forget that you're one of the 300 comics we have in this scene, and only about 50 really do it every week, and then there's 250 that are brand new comics or old comics who just don't really put themselves out there that much.
Sure.
Or you could take a Zayd Arakat approach where you're just hanging out at the club, skipping a lot of open mics, and you're able to get on. And he is a talented, like, good comic. But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, how do you want to... There's not one way. There's 1,000 ways to fuck this cat. So how are we going to do this? And
I believe in open mics, too. It's a harder scene.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, you aren't a very riffy comic. Do you write on stage ever? Do you, like, you have a premise and you have a punchline? Do you ever just expand upon the idea after that first initial tag bombs? I always tell myself, double down on it and try to swim around in that murkiness of the bomb and try to figure out a new angle for the premise. Because obviously, the premise was funny in the first place to you. There's something that you can convey, but it's just trying to get across.
I gotta be in that mood, right? Most of the time, I don't know. I do riff. Especially now. I riff a lot more than I used to, which is very little. Few times adding onto the jokes, and it's worked, but only in that time. You try it another time, and it doesn't work then. You know.
But I would say that
I'll riff with like audience and stuff and things that are happening. That's more like what I do. And
you gotta, man, that's such a hard lesson to learn because that's gonna happen always. You're gonna be 25 years in, hopefully, still doing this. That's just always gonna happen where it hits the first time, and then you repeat the same joke, same set, and 4 minutes in, I'm gonna say yada yada. And then it's going to get a fucking laugh. And then you say the same joke that you said that killed. And in that moment, that riff killed. But then you repeat the riff. And for some reason, they see a lost shimmer in your eye. There's a lost magic about the situation because of the passion or how it connected with the first audience was completely that moment and nothing else. Or like a sunset. It will never happen again, but you can plan it will, but not in the same way. It's not going to be the exact same thing. And that's why comedy's such a bitch, dude. And it's a toxic relationship that you have with it where the highs are so high and then you try to repeat the same actions you did on the high and then the low is so low.
It's so dark, dude. I'll try to redeem myself. If there's another mic and I just bombed, I'll go to that other mic. Because, otherwise you're like mad at yourself for another day or whenever you can get to the next mic.
It was you, I think I was texting. Sorry. It was you who I was texting about 3 mics is the perfect number, I think.
Yeah.
Even if, you got to have one dog shit, one you're really nervous for, and the other that you're comfortable in. And that's a good room to, like, the first one, try jokes out, cut the teeth of the jokes. Like, really throw the baby into the water and see what happens with the first one. The second one, just go up and try to be the practitioner and really tighten up. And then the third one, have some fun. I like to have a couple drinks, or like JP's is a perfect third mic. Or what's another? Devil's Advocate. I'll go there after having 2 open mic sets. Like last week on Monday, I had 2 sets.
By cars.
No, but then I went there, and sometimes, like, now I'm in a hosting position for Fish. Like, I'm one of his 3 or 4 guest hosts, which is nice. He'll buy me some drinks, and I love the extra stage time. But I went up,
every time I go there.
I didn't even do my tight 5. I did the first 2 jokes I was working on that night, and it went really well because I did 2 different rooms, one woke room, and then I went to another room where they wanted me to like reenact the insurrection. Yeah. And then the third room is just a wild outside. Yeah, but with hosting, I hate when people are being too stingy with that mic, man, when they go up in between comics and they're like, I've been thinking about milk lately.
They're up there for like 7 minutes.
Bro, especially with the bucket spot, you gotta be like, hey, that last comic, give it up for him. Right? He looks like shit. Your next comic, he's the host of Diners, Drive-Ins, and DUIs. Give it up for Daniel Bright, And you gotta keep it going. And that's another part of it, of keeping it going. For you, how do you, when you're in a slump, when you're in a dry spell of writing jokes, how have you felt? Because you can't force it. You really can't force an elephant. You can only lay the peanuts and wait for it to follow. So how do you notice yourself getting out of a rut as an artist, as a joke writer?
I'll go back to old jokes, or I'll see if I could tune up current jokes. Because like you're saying, writing, for me, it's not like every day where I'm like thinking of stuff. It's usually like 1 or 2 days out of like
a month,
a few days, like 30 days.
I say every time it's a full moon. Usually it's a full moon. I write 5 new jokes and 1 survives every month.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah. So it's
2.
like that. So I'll just make sure I write them down in the time, and then I'll come back to them. Otherwise, I've write them down while I'm driving. No, I'm just joking.
While I'm driving, yeah, with the fucking stylus. What's that thing called? Where it's like what painters?
Stylus.
Yeah, painters use. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
On the pad. Yeah. No, I'll try to do like the voice memo.
What's your education? We were talking right before we started, and I said,
low.
Did you go to college? And you almost said middle school, and then you corrected and said community college. What's the difference?
And I dropped out
of both.
No, I got a high school degree.
GCU and MCC.
I went to MCC and CGCC.
Dude, people out of state are like, what are these fucking letters?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like CBD,
Mesa Community College.
THC.
Yeah.
It's all cool, man.
Yeah. You haven't heard of that shit? Chandler Gilbert Community College.
Is that the fight song?
I don't know. Give me a soul.
I think
that's Wu-Tang.
Pima Medical Institute for 9 months for a medical assisting certificate. So people giving out, like taking your weight at a doctor's office,
sure,
or like assisting in minor surgeries.
That's a good deal.
That would have been me, but honestly, the money is not where it's at. I'm a server now. I worked like 7:30 to 2:30, and I made $200 in tips plus my hourly.
That's fantastic.
And my whole job is, how do you want your eggs? Do you want a refill on that? Nah, I can grab you a box. Yeah, it's a diner feel, but also like the company is doing well.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? Is something that I've tried to get across to my coworkers. Middle management is the worst place to be, especially if you're being promoted from a server or line cook or whatever position. When you're being promoted to the head of the sales team or something, you immediately become a Gestapo in these people's minds, and it's absolutely true. Or a capo. I forget which one is the one who, like, Jews became security guards in the internment camps, but it is a term I'm trying to make of, or like a reflection of how
you're like the cop.
Yes,
you gotta
people don't feel safe around
lay
you.
Down the law.
We're like,
that shit.
Motherfucker,
you gotta make people work.
I was just smoking in the
talking.
bathroom with you like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right. So, have you ever been in a salaried position where you really realize the truth about money, of how money at a certain point after shelter and bills are paid, and you have food, pantry's full, it doesn't feel like anything, or at least for me, money, the number growing, it's nothing. It's fugazi to me. It's made up. a quasi bullshit thing to
when
where
you're dead inside and you have a lot of money, it doesn't matter.
And I'm not a shopper, but when I have a lot of money, I go out shopping for clothes I won't fit into in a few months because I'm a Jonah Hill of like ups and downs in my weight. So I quickly realized I've been broke, and I've also had like, at the time I thought it was a lot of money. I had like $12,000.
That's a lot of money.
Saved up, especially as like a 20-year-old. I
Fuck
thought
yeah,
it was
that
a lot
is.
of money. But you know what? I did. I had it in crypto.
You buy a house back in the day.
I
with
had
that
it
shit.
crypto. And that shit just completely vanished. And a lot of people would really feel hurt with $10,000 gone because 12 went to 2 real quickly.
What crypto?
A mixture of Ethereum and Bit and a couple other smaller coins, but mostly the main 2.
God damn.
But it was after a big drop, and when I needed to pull out the money, I needed the money. And when I put in the money, I truly did not need the money. So it's a reflection of I wasn't ready to lose it. But when I lost 10,000, right, on a computer
so you
screen.
put in after it went to like 60 grand.
I put in like 40, went up. I gained like $4,000 and then lost so much that a lot of people would really contemplate life. But honestly, I felt free in a certain way of like, I still paid my bills, and it was a thing of I don't feel money. I don't know if you do or if you've ever had a salaried position, but salary is worse than hourly, and hourly is worse than compensation pay, which is salesman or tips, like a waiter. How do
So
you feel
really,
about
I've
salary?
been like a salesman like for the past like decade or something. I worked for Discount Tire for a long time, which is great.
Love
Great
Discount
job.
Tire.
Great
yeah,
job.
Discount Tire is a good place.
Great career
They're the place where you can go for like fixing a leak in a tire
for free.
for free. Yep.
Free.com.
Yeah. Also, like tire rotations and oil change.
It's free.com
It's not much, man.
/org.
But yeah, working at Discount Tire. What was the commission? Because you work up from a
No,
detailer.
no.
What are you doing?
So I never got full time. Full time is when you start making money. Soon after but I did do sales. Like I go up there in front and help. But I quit that job and started working for my dad, rebuilding fuel injectors and turbos and pumps.
Like a real ass garage.
Yeah. Well, it's like a part shop.
Oh, so did he have fabrication? Like is he a
Machine. It's like
machinist?
testing machines
Wow.
and cleaning benches. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then you take part
Like
stuff
that's purple
and replace
collar.
parts.
That's more than blue
Purple
collar. dog.
collar.
No, that's from all the oil stains, dog. Yeah, that's
should have been
how
good.
long? How many years did you work under your dad?
It's been like a decade, dude. 2012 to 2022 in August is when I stopped working and also started comedy.
Oh yeah, and we talked about this too. Right now, you are driving for Uber.
Uber Eats, baby.
Oh wait. Oh, okay. Big difference.
That's, I guess, when I shout people out.
Uber's more money for sure.
Oh, yeah,
but
that's
it's also
true.
further more bullshit drives. But
Get people
Uber
throwing
Eats,
up in your car and shit.
man, how many deliveries do you have to make a week to make your nut?
So my goal is like $700
A week.
I mean, that's
not
it's
bad.
a full-time job. you
Yeah,
know?
that's about how much I
like
make serving. With
You
like
start
4
out
days.
later in the day, you can make more money, but I'm doing like the 9 to 5 type thing.
Damn.
you know?
Damn. All right,
Yeah,
so
it's
but
been okay.
I mean, that is kind
Some-
of what it is the
some days are
reckless
better.
abandon. And when I first started after the pandemic, there was a lot of people with PPP loans and the unemployment shit where they're paying like $600 a week. That was a lot more
What's
than
a PPP loan?
a PPP loan during COVID.
Smoke that?
Huh?
Smoke that?
Yeah, you can smoke it. Just try to ghost it. Don't do any vape tricks or nothing. And also, like YouTube doesn't really demonetize anything that's not monetized in the first place. Literally, what was I talking about? Stop! Don't make a mic dick. Don't mic dick me. You fucking mic holder over there.
Demonetized for that.
So wait, what were we just
It's all
talking
blurred
about?
and shit.
Fucking during the pandemic, a lot of people were just on unemployment, like Chew Deer. Judy Gal was just on unemployment and going to mics every day. He's like, fuck it. It doesn't matter. Suck my dick. The government's paying me to be a comic. I'm a professional open micer. And like a lot of people were on unemployment. And then all of a sudden that shit started drying up. And you started seeing a lot of people start coming out less because it's such a luxurious pursuit that we're doing. It's such...
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just the freedom of being in America. Would you ever move to LA or New York?
I thought about that. It's probably Austin more likely lately, but I figured I want to do my work here and then move there.
You have some family here. You have your daughter here.
Yeah,
so
that's a big deal too.
Even just being a touring comic, even if you're opening for someone, that's going to be a part of the scheduling.
Yeah, my ex has family in California, so maybe, but Austin, I mean, I like the scene down there right now.
Have you been?
No, but I like hearing about it.
That seems like a lot of comics. They love what they're hearing.
I hear things.
You know whose podcast I'm not listening to from Austin? The Open Micers. I don't know a goddamn person from Austin. There was a person who came for
you
Josh's.
got some heavy hitters in there as far as podcasts and comedy.
I mean, Celia just moved there. She's specifically just hitting
exactly.
heavy. But
Celia should tear
absolutely,
it up.
Austin is it's a great place because right now you have a
She's
lot
on well, this isn't coming out tonight, but she's on Comedy Mothership tonight.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's open mic on Sundays. Oh yeah. For a second I got excited. But Austin is very cool, but what is in the modern age? I mean, yeah, Joe Rogan can do that in Austin, but we're talking about pandemic time when there are more, hopefully, some local comics who actually start headlining local clubs here within 6 to 8 years. What is stopping Phoenix from being a similar scene? Austin's not bigger than Phoenix.
Sure. From what I know and hear is you got the senior comics, they do well, and then they move away, right? So you don't have like any senior mentorship.
Phoenix is a transplant city to begin with.
Yeah.
Everyone's from Michigan or Illinois or New York.
You have big names coming through, but they're not here.
And everyone... Earthquake, Joe Rogan, a bunch of people record
we got
specials here
that,
at Stand Up Live.
Yeah, exactly.
Stand Up Live does a lot of specials.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, even, I hate bringing it up, but back when I used to
Tom
listen to Joe
Segura
Rogan
did
a
his
lot.
show, special here, Netflix.
Because they also offer a package where they have the crane setups. They have a catwalk. Not a catwalk necessarily, but they have the ironing up, and if you need it. But also, Joe Rogan brought up on his podcast one time where he was like, Phoenix is one of those cities. It's a lot. And he was talking about Austin as well. He's like, fucking Austin, Denver, Phoenix. You have all these places in the Southwest where it's an amazing crowd. You come out, everyone's getting drinks. Everyone's kind of quiet and patient. They aren't like a Miami crowd where they're just shouting everything during the show. We are pretty respectful out here. And we're more blue than people think. Everyone hears Arizona and thinks it's kind of like a Southern California. The moment you get out of LA County, you get into the boonies, and those are the gun-toting fuckers. Yeah, but if you go into the city, everyone's purple-haired and ginger non-conforming. And yeah, it's truly a great place to do stand-up because we have a huge variety, and we have a whole diaspora of people.
You got crowds.
And we also have crowds.
You go to other open mics in other cities.
People can come out here and sell out 5 shows or like do arenas. So really, what's stopping it is a light tower of a comic. And that's what Joe Rogan was for Austin.
And leadership. But like you're saying,
so are you gonna step up or not?
I'm barely beginning. I need.
You know what's fucked up is it takes one more
year. I need
year.
it. Somebody?
Dude, you'll be one more year in, and all of a sudden, new comics are asking you for advice, and it's very fucked up.
Yeah,
and you're like, bro, I'm still
already happened.
What?
Well, they want like joke. There's a whole what do you think about this joke and shit?
Like out of nowhere, they're just sprung within the first 4 months of this year. There was like 20
very
new comics,
recent.
And it's always like a huge burnout, and then like 3 or 4 stick around.
We just got 2 or 3 this week, dude.
Ooh.
Fuck if I remember their names.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're actually very introverted. Thank you for actually remembering that. Where at, though? Wayward?
Maybe it was Leanne at Wayward.
Shout out Leanne. All right. I'll have her on
We
the
don't need
podcast. And by podcast, I mean sex. No, I'm kidding. If you're a true comic, you understand the joke I'm making.
I wish I could see their comedy before I recommend them.
Yeah. What's funny is that I know many comics when they first start out, especially guys who are young in their 20s, they're like, dude, this girl just invited me on her podcast. I'm totally going to fuck. And I'm like, no, you're going to record a mediocre podcast and never listen to it.
Yeah,
Really, and that goes for life too. Lower your expectations. Your happiest moment happened when you're 8 or 9, and it's never going to feel that way again. Let go. Just let go. And whether it's numb or accepting the numbness as in its peaks and valleys as it turns into a flat ground emotionally, accept that it's gone. You know, your happiest moment has happened, and the serotonin is spent.
I've been to plenty of therapy to know that already.
Right. And
reflect back to your happiest moments. Right?
I'm 25. At 25, what were you doing?
Speeding towards divorce.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Speed Run channel. We're going to be doing divorce today, all right? Oh, that's a good clip. You're a Twitch streamer just ruining, which is, wow, what a great metaphor. And his wife comes in like, please, all you do is just stream on Twitch. What are you doing? You have 30 subscribers. You've been here too long. You broke bitch. I mean, that's not an easy job either. If your man said, I'm going to start comedy, whoo, that's such a tough.
Yeah.
I mean, supporting that fucker. Not supporting that guy.
It was embarrassing, I'm sure.
I remember showing a stand-up clip 3 years before I started stand-up to one of my exes. I showed him a stand-up clip I really liked on back then that was YouTube. Before YouTube Shorts, it was just a minute-long video of a stand-up clip. And I showed her. She was like, I'm not. It's funny, but I'm not a fan of stand-up. For some reason, that just killed the spirit inside of me for another 2 years. Where I could have started when I was 20, I started when I was 22 because I let things exactly
people persuade in their thoughts.
No, obviously, yeah, we broke up, but still, you have love and respect for these people. But you look
care
back,
about their opinions. Yeah,
you look back and you're like, why the fuck would I ever listen to them? And honestly, if you did start it, regardless of their opinions,
I did for so long.
It would have been, if anything, more attractive to them. The fact that you're going out and doing something weird and crazy. And I was saying earlier, that's why a lot of young female comics don't exist in any stand-up scene, is because it's not only a crazy bad career decision to stay out late every night, but physically, you're staying out late every night with a bunch of fucking weirdos. A lot of comics are fucking weirdos.
Dude,
and
I
until
hear
2 in the morning.
conversations.
Till 2 in the morning, and especially if you're an attractive young girl who's 22.
Everybody hits on you.
Bro, unless you got a pepper spray gun and a knife. You got, bro, strap. Yeah. I'm not saying anyone will try some shit.
You gotta be very secure.
But if anyone, yeah. And that's why a lot of women don't, is because they're thinking 10 steps ahead of every guy, and they assume that something's bad is going to happen. But
come with the girl squad.
Exactly. And they a lot of them do that. And it's very fucked up. And people do ask, why aren't there more female comics? I'm like, fucking women are funny. We're way past women are funny. Now it's like is it safe? Is it safe for them to be at Woodshed at fucking 11:30 waiting for their spot? Not even the comics, the fucking creepy guys at the bar.
Exactly. Yeah.
You were there when one of them picked a fight with me. I had to be.
Oh yeah.
I had to
for nothing.
Like a kid, I had to be like, "Hey man, what's your name? What are you doing tonight?"
Because he was looking at him across the bar, maybe
and I was trying
during
to make
a story.
I was making a joke about the comic on stage.
Yeah,
with
not even him.
And he came over after that comic set, and he was like, "You making fun of me?" I'm like, also, this guy is 6'2", 300 pounds, and I'm like, "What the fuck am I gonna make fun of you of?" But also, both fights picked with me in the past month, both native guys, and I gotta say, I look like Manifest Destiny manifested. You know what I mean? My face is like white guilt in personified, if you may.
I know, right? You're the cartoon image.
It's both my native brothers, and I'm like, bro, what's happening?
Oh, yeah.
And both times you have to. This is a very deep point that a lot of guys don't understand. Those guys who were picking a fight with you, they don't want to fight. They want a physical or emotional connection, and the only way they've seen an outlet of feeling before was their parents hitting them or their older brothers hitting them or being abused. And like,
Sure.
that's why a lot of guys go towards let's fight, because that's the only way they can prove their validation to themselves is by a physical altercation where they can prove I'm man enough. But truly, the big man will stand there and say, "What's your name, man? How are you feeling?" Because honestly, I'm not worried. Not only I know what I'm doing with a fight, but also I am in a room with 20 of my friends, and regardless of what they think of my comedy, they will jump in and murder that guy for me.
Yeah, it's not the scene. We definitely want to avoid it, but
And you too.
I mean,
You were right there. Even you being an
happens.
introvert, you were on my side from the jump, and you're like,
For sure.
you're there.
Dude. He
You're there
asked
for
me first off, he's like, "Is this kid with you? Is he your friend?" I was like, "Yeah. What's going on?" And then that's when he came back.
Yeah, because I saw him walk up to you. I'm like, I felt the energy of
It's like, we
it was
weren't
for
even
sure what
talking
I
about
said.
you.
For sure what
He's
I
like,
said.
"You're looking at me."
He's
It's like,
now
"We're
checking
looking
Tom
at the
for what I
stage."
said. I'm like, no, Tom's. Hey, we're all grown men. What's up?
Yeah.
All right, did your feelings get hurt from a joke? And it's also not even a gentleman. As a man, if you're getting offended by a joke, how manly are you? Let's address it. How strong are you if you can't take criticism and or a joke?
Exactly.
And you're a fucking adult?
If you can't laugh about yourself, you're going through
What?
the world taking yourself completely serious.
Hey, bro. And that's the thing is all those guys, they can't take themselves seriously. That's why they got to puff out their chest. That's why they got to do that shit and go out of their way just to ruin their life.
Yeah, it's weird.
And the therapy shouldn't be post-prison. It should be way before.
Guy went after Josh Harrison, dude. This Wednesday.
I didn't come out. What happened?
He
Josh went up?
was ragging on him pretty good. I forget what he said, but he's like, "You want to do this right now? Right now?" And then Josh is like, "I will destroy you, dude."
Josh
And
is
then,
a veteran.
The girl tried to take his mic. He's like, "Fuck away." She kicked the chair. People got up, swarmed him.
Yeah. God damn. I love those live house. Damn, I'm mad.
Dude, Maddie
I'm
was
mad
a
I missed it.
baller. Maddie was a baller. She handled it like a
bro,
champ.
Maddie and Chanda, I've seen those women break up more bar brawls than
was awesome.
any police. The police don't get called to woodshed, dog. It's 1955 and that motherfucker. They will be like, dude, and she's just coming in here with her fucking triple D's, and she's like, what's, dude?
The girlfriend threw a drink at Josh, hit the dog.
What? No, who's
Josh brought his dog.
The drink hit the dog.
Yeah.
Poor, dude, that poor
Kinda
dog.
fucked
The
up.
one time
I was
that
really
dog,
hoping the dog would start drinking it or something. It'd be a win.
What was the drink? A beer or a cocktail?
It was a White Claw, dude.
Oh no, it's a can.
They're all, "I'll meet you in the parking lot." And
Bro, no, you
I
don't
went out the
want
door to
to.
see what happens. Maddie follows them out too. You couldn't see people leave faster, dude. They're in their card out. I was like, God damn.
Bro, yeah,
It's
man.
a lot of talk.
And the other time someone picked a fight with me, I was waiting for the bathroom, and someone went in, and I just set my drink down on the table before I went into the bathroom, and the guy behind me, I was like, "Hey, I'm going to leave my drink here. Make sure to drug me." And he's like, "The fuck did you just say to me?" I'm like, "Make sure to... Can you drug me?" And it's one of those things where I'm like, yo, it's not even he didn't get the joke. It's so
It's
over
an
his
insult.
head. Yeah, it's an insult to him. I'm like,
I've had that. yeah.
hey, what's your upbringing like? Because for me, I kind of forget. I hate tuning my own horn, but I'm very intuitive, and I don't need a lot of schooling to pick things up. So I'm like, hey, man, what's your upbringing like? Like, do you know shapes, and how did you drive here? Type thing. But he put his hand on my shoulder, and he was like, "Don't you ever fucking disrespect me like that again." And I'm like, hey,
Oh my God.
what? And I was looking him in the eye, and he wasn't looking me in the eyes, and he was like, "Don't ever disrespect me." Looking at my shoes.
See
and
the
shit.
Godfather?
This guy was exactly no. It was just some skinny native guy who's like, and he's taller than me too, and he's
Look
looking
at
at
my
my
face.
shoes, and
Look on my face.
and I was like, hey man, when we're talking, look me in the eyes. And he looked up,
Maybe
and for
that
some
was
reason,
Scarface.
and then Gimmick, you know Gimmick.
Sure.
He was raised in I think South California, but this guy just like runs over and he just like breaks everything up. Everyone like jumps in, and I start walking away. I'm like, I was hearing him out, but that's like me. That's drinking Seth. I'm not threatened with a hand on the shoulder.
Yeah,
but
dude.
Woodshed is a wild place, dog.
It's wild.
That's again
Physical altercations 3 times now.
That's why a lot of lady comics, man, it's a crazy world.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Woodshed.
If that's how you were raised, yeah. If that's how you were raised, of like older kids always fucking trying you, comedy might be for you.
It's a thing.
Because your best friends will go up and tell your fucking secrets as a joke, and it's honestly a funny joke, so you can't be mad at them.
Yeah, people act hard socially now. They're not. You can't be friendly like you used to strangers and shit.
It's always the quiet motherfuckers when shit really pops off, and it's just the quiet motherfuckers just watching everything. Watch out, because they are sure of what's going to happen.
Yeah,
if really things go down, it's not the loud guys. It's always the motherfuckers sitting down who were like, "No, we can meet in the parking lot, but we're not fighting." And like, dude, no, and like, if you actually, I mean, shit, like Nick Reback, calling back to him. I wasn't even there that night, but at this like black biker bar one time, he was calling. It was a biker bar, mostly black guys, and there's always the one white guy, the classic Chappelle bit. And the one white guy at this biker bar was just sitting there, and he was like, "Well, what'd you have to do to get in here? He wants to say the N-word so bad. Look at him. He wants to say it." And then that white guy's like, "Man, shut the fuck up." And he pulls a gun out of his side pocket, puts it onto the table, and just looks back at Nick, and he's like, okay. Like, it was a tap mic, so everyone started tapping him out right when they saw that. They're like, "Get the fuck off stage, get the fuck off stage." And then he got off stage, and then the white guy was like, "Hey man, come off the fucking parking lot." And everyone's like, no, chill. But that's seriously what it is like that guy is so insecure that he needs the 9mm to prove he's a man.
Yeah, dude.
He needs to prove that he has nothing to lose to show that he has nothing. Like, no.
So crazy. It's more like prove you're ready to go to jail.
And that's what a fucking kid does. That's a teenager. It's a scarred, traumatized human. And obviously, if you walked up and
jail
been like,
that night, you can't flash your gun in front of people.
No, but also, I mean, it's in their club, so it's like.
Well, I'm saying he got lucky, dude. That's a fucking. Can't do that.
I know, but it's how do you feel about that of like snitching?
I would never do it.
No, okay. So if you're involved in a robbery,
you see me in the corner.
Dude, I'm telling everybody,
I'm looking
bro.
at him right now.
I'm reopening my MySpace, telling everyone, dog. Twitter, MySpace, Twitch, Kick. I'm on it. You would never want to snitch.
I never have.
No.
Like class and stuff.
What?
Cub Scouts.
You know, bro, like I'm never telling who touched. Okay. Were you in Cub Scouts?
Sure. Heavy in the Mormons. You probably didn't know that, huh?
Mormon.
Yeah, I grew up Mormon.
Thank you for not having it be your entire set. Man, you've seen those comics? Hey, I'm ex-Mormon.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about it. And I'm like, bro, Catholics are just as good.
And nobody wants to hear it.
I gotta say, Mormons. What is it? It's the energy from Mormons are so positive that a lot of stand-up crowds are like, I don't know. It's like, are you okay?
It's definitely fake. It's a put on.
I mean, their mask is really good.
Yeah, because it's years deep.
When did you leave the church?
Like around 25. Yeah.
Did you go on mission?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Washington.
Okay.
That's why I love it so much. Yeah.
Dude, how many years did you spend there? 1, 2? It's always 2, right?
2 years.
Like the Israeli army.
For the boys. Yep. Yep. Christ soldiers.
Wow. So. Okay, so when you were my age...
We don't have to talk about that.
No, not at all. Dude, before
we could talk about Washington.
Before we started, I always ask people, what don't you want to talk about? And your eyes got big. Like, you're like, we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Because you're a man. You're a full-grown guy in your 30s. And, like, you got a lot of life to either bring up or not.
Washington's dope, dude.
I've only heard good things.
Deer in my front yard. You see bald eagles flying by, like catching fish. You could catch salmon just right there in the Puget Sound. I never liked fish until I had salmon fresh caught from there. It was so fucking good.
Because you grew up here, right?
Yeah,
in the
it's so dirty and
our fish is
and
all
shit.
just frozen and stinky. That's really
Got
cool.
some bullshit out here. But you eat it up there and it's like straight meat. It just tastes like meat. It doesn't taste like fish. It's just like, this is salmon, the meat. You know.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's really cool, man. If you had a choice and you were retiring, would it be Washington? You like Washington a lot?
Well, my goal is to be a snowbird. Have like a cabin out there or something. Go pick some shrooms.
All right, what city up there? What city down here?
So I love Port Angeles, but it's like disconnected from everywhere. It's right by Vancouver, Canada. It's a ferry away.
It's like 2 miles, or is it like a mile away from Seattle? And
so I lived in Bremerton for a year, and that's a 45-minute ferry ride to Seattle.
Ferry.
Mm-hmm. Ferries are popping out there, dude.
Bro, yeah, because it's all along the seaboard, right?
You got water everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, because it's really like the more east you go in the state, there's nothing, right?
Yeah, Washington, I think it's all followed by the sea, and even part of the state has a big dip where the sea comes in.
True. Oh,
that's
yeah,
where,
right.
By Bremerton, that's the Puget Sound, and that's what comes in from the ocean.
And what is a sound? It's not a bay.
Fuck if I know. I just know it's called a sound, dude.
Do you know what sounding is?
No.
Sounding is where you fuck your pee hole.
Because you make wild sounds?
Welcome back to
another... Are there kids here?
No, not anymore.
Like your ears are blown up?
Dude, my ears are blown the fuck out right now. There's a... Yeah, do you like geography at all? Like interesting geography fact. I'm fading.
That's like what I'm the worst at. I could tell you very few states are.
Detroit has the only place where you can go south into Canada from America. Because it loops around. It like a yin yang. Canada reaches under. Yeah, an overpass where you can go south into Canada from Detroit. Look it up. I swear to God, I'm not that faded.
I thought you were talking about Mexico for some reason.
No. You fucking...
It's like Mexico doesn't connect to Canada.
No. Yeah, you can tell that like Mexico was definitely negotiated with some linguistic barriers. Dude,
by the Spaniards?
Dude, I gotta say the biggest come up in American history, fuck Benny Seal or D.B. Cooper, the Louisiana Purchase. Who did that? Who said, what was it, like $22 or something? It was something crazy, and it's like, fuck all the businesses made in those states. The amount of lumber surpasses that. The amount of cattle surpasses it. Everything is just such a good deal. Who did that?
Yeah, you're more educated than me. I remember it, man, because I must have cheated on all that.
Really? Wow. I was never a cheater in school. Were you a cheater?
Early on, sure, and then I started carrying when I was in like 11th. Well, when I did firefighting at EVIT. That was dope.
What? You've lived 5 lives.
Yeah,
you did firefighting at EVIT, and did you ever...
I mean, the class, but
yes. I mean, that's just really paramedic work. That you went to school for the paramedic shit, and the actual firefighting is more of like... I assume
unless you're Phoenix Fire.
How so?
They got a lot of structures. But even then, a lot of times it's like a trash fire or something like that. But, yeah, I mean, you got everybody's high-rises and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know they're busier.
So you were you still in the Mormon church at this point?
Yeah.
Well, it was right after school?
I left when I was like 13 or 14, and I started again when I was like 19, 18.
What got you thinking in God again?
Maybe too hardcore of drugs.
You are a locked book, man.
Didn't want to be.
You are usually people are pouring their hearts out. You, god damn. I'm like, where were you on September 11th? You're like, fucking color blue is pretty cool.
Well, if you want to know the truth,
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of sleep paralysis?
Yes.
Where you like wake up and you're paralyzed. I thought that was a demon like controlling my body, like at the saying to me like I need to get clean and live the churches, whatever.
I haven't seen that demon yet, so I'm gonna keep going.
But I learned shortly after.
That's just a regular nocturnal thing for about like 12 and 100 people, I think.
Well, it happened during a scary dream too.
You just call your mom.
Demons are here.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Do you have a ghost?
But I'm not against the idea that there's different dimensions here.
Oh wow, you got way more woo-woo than I thought. Okay, you're a closed book, but that book is magic.
Well, I'm like agnostic now. I hope there's a God, but there's been no fucking proof. Where the fuck are you?
I've been saying that this whole time. And so one of my coworkers asked if I'm religious, and I said,
like they strike them down back in the day. Well, strike me down. Strike me down.
Where is this pen?
Strike me down.
Sorry, one second. Ooh, we have pizza and wings downstairs, guys.
Hasn't happened yet. That's the third time I asked it.
What? Strike me down.
Strike me down if I'm wrong. Hasn't happened.
There's a
Book of Tom.
There's a rapper named Kevin Gates. Book of Tom. Ooh, that's a good. Oh, that's the biography, dude. That's autobiography.
That's all what it is. It's
Tom.
just their journals.
You stupid fuck. All right, wait.
I want to make this journal interesting.
But yeah, one of my coworkers asked if I'm religious, and I'm like, not really, but honestly, I feel like I want to be. You know, it would be cool to have a higher power in the dark moments, just to look towards and actually like truthfully believe in it.
Sure.
But you know, during church, I was just asking too many questions, and the priest was like, you know, I found this kid hot, but he just keeps on yapping. So.
It was all BS, you know. You could tell people are just repeating the same shit over and over.
But you do know that the morals are correct.
There's good points to it, and there's good values to it.
But it's not just Mormonism. It's all of the subsects of Christianity.
Sure.
It's halal. It's Orthodox Jew or Catholic.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they're all warring each other.
Really,
it's a device.
But it's funny. It's because they don't agree on whatever. And like, regardless of Muhammad or Christ
silly.
or Jesuit, what I forget the proper word for the Jewish God. But regardless of, when you boil it down, really, it's the same shit. It's don't kill, don't rape, don't steal. Treat people how you want to be treated. Have a positive outlook. Treat your money as if you're holding it for another person, and you will prosper. Or when you have kids, there's a whole saying in like Catholicism of more kids, more money, and kids bring money, because it falls down to having more things on the line. And if you're a selfish person, have a kid, and it's kind of by proxy being selfish to take care of your kid, who is yourself in a way.
Oh yeah, it's definitely, there's a selfish aspect to it, but you definitely want to give like a better life, and you don't want them to be fucked up like you, if you're a good parent.
I don't know if I've ever told my parents, don't kick yourself for me being a comic. Is because my parents are artists, and like they've always been theater teachers, and my dad's a musician, and it's like,
well, that's what I'm saying. It could go the other way
I've
too.
been inundated with art, regardless of the upbringing I had. I would be writing songs or painting, doing poetry, writing. I would be doing something, and I chose comedy because that is my personal, how would you say,
love,
passion. What I fell into easiest, and that's usually what is the best for you. Something that seems so easy that you want it more than a lot of times food or I mean, more than food, more than sex, sometimes even more than air. Like the other day, On Thursday I was texting you, and I was planning on coming out to Mike's.
You were sexting me?
Yeah, dude, I was just sending dick pics with emojis.
I remember that.
Devil emojis of like.
I was like, oh my god,
dude, I'm coming over. Fucking clear your schedule. I was texting you the other day on Thursday of how I'm coming out to Mike's, and then my voice didn't get better, and I lost my voice recently a couple days ago, and I realized how not only am I in America and I do stand up, and I'm lucky enough that my parents love me, they're still together, still alive, I live in their house. But the fact that my voice works, my brain can form words. I'm not debilitated in a fucking wheelchair. Or like one time I really blew out my left leg, and like just walking around limping at Mike's was just such a realization of don't take health for granted. Fuck money. Money, you can take more for granted, but don't. But if anything, health is way more important than money. I'd rather be broke and healthy than rich and sick.
Gotta be healthy. I gotta start exercising again myself.
I need to start exercising too, but honestly, I haven't gone to the gym in like 2 weeks. I've lost 10 pounds.
That's wow.
Bro, I'm looking at that.
Yeah, how did that happen?
No, but I'm
You're
naturally
eating or something?
I'm a naturally svelte
better?
guy.
Honestly,
when you're 25, you can eat Taco Bell, but as long as it's one meal a day, your body can cycle through a fasting process when you're sleeping, and then you wake up hungry, but you have some green tea, get some lemon, get some honey just to kickstart your gut biome, and then, by after work at like 3, I eat, go out to Mike's.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then sometimes
like intermittent fast is what you're doing.
Yeah. And especially at 25, it can be garbage food, as long as you're getting your right amount of protein. Because some days I wake up and I ate like pasta the day before with no protein at all, and you wake up and I have a headache. So I'm like, I don't know, just pay attention to your body, and that is something when you grow older, you start paying attention to shit. Because I've had heartburn for years from like marinara and pizza sauce, but I didn't realize till recently that's heartburn, or this is what depression feels like, or things of like paying attention to your body and your mental state of, hey, this is different right now. Because when you're younger, you just go with the motions and you don't really reflect upon what you're feeling.
Yeah, smoking will get you acid reflux too. I've been having problems like that for a while. Spicy stuff and carbohydrates. Smoking. Yeah, it's smoking, yeah.
What? Dude, we've already done fucking 57 minutes, dude.
Wow. Right on. Yeah, till whenever you want to do.
No, we'll just do a tight hour. But I do want to ask you before we leave, a question I used to ask and I bring back. What is the happiest and or saddest moment of your life? That and it doesn't have to be, I know it's many. It's hard to choose from. But what is one that's a very good pivotal moment that you reflect on a lot and you've learned a lot from?
So happiest... I mean, I gotta say, with my kid, obviously, like, there's moments in there where it's just, like, so much love.
That's so cool.
Besides that...
Fuck it. He's fucking gay. No.
It's like an obvious answer.
No, but that's amazing. It's because I don't have kids, and it's good to hear, like, even parents that you would not expect to gush over their kids, they do. So that's wholesome. That's beautiful.
Yeah, like, I got her 50% of the time. But it's like a bubble or something.
Yeah, beer burps.
My throat's getting
like
dry.
50% of the time.
So I get excited when I see her.
That's so cool, man.
Every other weekend and a couple days during the week. So
that's amazing.
It's nice. You feel love and connection, and you help this. I don't know. It's wild. That's wild. You kind of live your childhood through them. I don't know.
Because you reflect.
Yeah, you're reflecting on it.
Yeah, you really
you're
go
like
back.
Watching them, and then you're like, is this how it was for me? I can't remember.
Yeah.
That's weird. But other than that, comedy. I mean, like I said before, it's really brought me back to life and give me something to get excited about every day and energized. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. Obviously, I don't sound like it, but...
No, that's amazing. What would you... Or like, for someone in their 20s. Me at 25. No kids. I kind of intend on being an older father. because I do want to see this comedy shit to the end. I don't want any kids to blame, and I don't want myself to blame. I want to be able to put that on the back burner because, you know, as guys, we don't really have much of a biological clock besides when we die. But I do want to have kids at some point. But your advice to me, being 2.5 years into comedy, and I'm pretty good. I can do the job.
Yeah, seek your goal first. You know, make this a solid, stable thing, and then seek that. Right now, I just see it as a distraction because if you got a girlfriend or something, then you're over there on nights, you know. And if you're spending too much time at comedy, that girlfriend's not gonna last too long.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to do is bring a new girl to an open mic where I bomb.
Oh, it's the worst,
dude. I couldn't.
It doesn't look good either.
Because I've met girls at an open mic where I did a good set, but guess what? When I bomb, no ladies coming to me. No ladies coming up asking me for my Instagram or Snapchat. No.
It's like they say
when you have a good set and you seem
it's like a stink
and you have
on you.
fun. Yeah, dude, that bomb stink is strong. And within the same week, I've had some of the worst bombs in my life and some of the best sets too. And that was last week. So I was like, this is perfect. The perfect dichotomy of it doesn't change, dog. Regardless of what you know, it's how you put it out, and it's how it's performed too. And or at least that's very big for me. The ability for me to smile on stage or have my voice, because even on Monday I was starting to lose my voice more, and it fucked with me just mentally of like, okay, before this next joke I need to swallow to make sure that my throat has enough moisture so I can actually reach this higher pitch. And bro, no, you got to be in the moment and just loving what you do. And I want you to do that too. And like, you're funny as fuck. I want you to be around more, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's definitely
Absolutely.
something I'm working on, is putting emotion into what I'm saying on stage, which is very hard and is probably going to be a long road.
Bro, you don't have to do anything different besides right, do the job. Do what you're doing right now. And also don't lose that fire under your ass, because you'll be 2 years in and you'll just go up and play the hits and it feels good. But you know in the back of your mind, that fire under your ass has to be there.
No, dude, I love writing, man.
That's good.
Like when I didn't do comedy for a while, I kept writing. And I love saying new jokes on stage, even if I don't need to. I need to be working for something.
That is the best fucking feeling.
You say a new joke and it gets a laugh, and you just like thought of it that day or something.
Like the toxic relationship. That's the makeup sex feeling.
It's the instant satisfaction.
And that's how,
it's
like,
so good,
people
dude.
Who do music.
You write it that day.
I'm like, how are you not
say it, you get a laugh.
How are you satisfied from like making a song that you know will be, or actors when they're like, yeah, it'll be coming out in 3 months. I'm like, I would lose my mind.
Well, music, dude. If they're doing what they should be playing local gigs. And, you know, getting their music out right now.
Honestly,
and practice and getting feedback.
If you're a young musician,
people
or a comic,
don't like this song, scratch that song. You get a new song.
Dude, like musicians are so weird, man. Because
it's different, huh?
Because every single musician friend I have, they will commend me for doing stand up, and I commend them for being able to work with people. Go ahead, yeah. If you want, we can keep going, but let's just have a beer and hang out. No. Let's have a beer and hang out. Let's stop recording. Do you have any shows coming up within, let's say, like 3 weeks, probably?
Yeah. Purple Turtle, July 13th.
That's a good plot. Yeah, that's a good fucking place.
Jesse Ever. Ray Earl's going to be there headlining.
Love
so it's
Ray
going to be
Earl.
a good show.
Ray Earl is an amazing comic.
See him before he leaves. He's leaving soon.
Austin?
He's going to Las Vegas.
Man.
Yeah,
to what?
like the
Sell
third
his
person.
fucking booty?
I haven't heard the scene is good over there, so I don't know.
Dude, no, I've heard the scene is terrible.
Yeah,
I was there
at least
for fucking
open
3
mics
days, and I
stuff.
tried to hit an open mic and couldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys again for checking
hopefully
out
he
another
has better
episode of
luck.
Big Couch, Little Couch. Dude, Tom Patterson.
Thanks for having me,
Instagram?
Seth. Yeah, this has been a blast. Sorry I didn't look at the camera.
What's your Instagram?
Word 186, word spelt with an E. I don't know if that's gonna stick.
No, that's fucking, yeah, that'll stick around. Okay. No, dude, thank you so much.
I should just do my name.
Thank you
just
for
search me,
opening
Tom
up.
Patterson.
Just search him up. All right. Thank you guys again. I swear to God, I'm going to be consistent this time. All right. Fucking season 2.5. 2.5, baby. We back.
Yeah.
Fucking mother.
Please do. No, not mine.